Hi, it's Mark out here with you, and as almost always, I'm at the gun range. And it won't surprise you to know that at a gun range you'll hear some firing in the background. There's even some automatic weapon firing going over to my left over here somewhere in one of these bays. So you'll hear all that going on. But what I'm out here to do today is to practice shooting around objects. These type drills that I do out here are not things that you need to just be obsessed with and concentrating on all the time. The basics in marksmanship and moving and shooting and defensive shooting is all important, and a lot of different ways that you can practice it, and I'm going to be practicing again around objects here today. And what you'll see set up behind me over here is my targets and some obstacles there. I'll be practicing shooting around those obstacles, but just a word of caution here is that those targets are set up, you see those targets set up right at the berm. They're not out here spread around like they normally are when I'm doing other types of practice. Those are there like that because I will probably be shooting from down low. I may even drop to the ground on my side and shoot towards the targets from under one of those things. I may run up on the targets before it's over with and shoot down low like a groin shot, stitching the target up as I move back away from it. In doing that, the angle of your gun is very pronounced. In other words, when you're up close to that target shooting at a groin shot, you're shooting down. You're shooting right down at the ground. Lying down on the ground, shooting at a target, if it's back out here somewhere, you can be easily shooting right up over that berm, which we know is not acceptable. It sure is not acceptable if you're out here, because the rules are that no matter what you do here, when you're shooting here, all your bullets that don't hit a target or don't hit a steel target or are not stopped by a target go through and hit that berm or hit one of these backstops here. So make sure that when you set your targets up like this, you set them right next to your backstop so that the pronounced angle of your gun doesn't put you in an unsafe position, or anybody that might be on the other side of that in an unsafe position. This is a drill and practice drill that's really not for people that are brand new to shooting, people that are still learning to use their gun and move just a little bit and doing a little bit of shooting. This is not really for them. This is for people that have got the fundamentals down and are confident with their gun, have learned to move and shoot. They're confident with their grip and their stance, and they can move around without getting off balance. That's who it's for, which is, you know, not way out there, but still, you should have the fundamentals down before you try this kind of stuff right here. I'm not going to interact with the camera a whole lot today. I'm going to have the camera set up, and I'll do a final GoPro run so you can kind of get a little perspective, but I won't be coming back and forth and interacting with the camera. You'll be able to see what I'm doing out here because I'll put the camera up with a broad view, and you'll kind of get an idea of how you can practice. And you can see my device that I built out here, that piece of plywood that's cut out. You can make one of those right there, and it covers for about 10 other pieces of equipment that you could be shooting around and through. So you can make one of those right there pretty easily. So here we go, practicing shooting around objects from cover. This would simulate shooting from cover or from concealment or from some other type of scenario where you may be forced to be behind something, or you may need to get behind something before you can actually interact or respond with your firearm. So let's go practice shooting around objects. Here's one final run from a GoPro view. Well, not just a whole lot to that, but so much to it when you're out there actually doing it. That's a lot of work. I want to tell you right now, making a video, I did that with 4 different guns, or actually 3 different guns with my Glock converted from 40 caliber to 9mm and then back again. Did it with a Smith & Wesson Shield and a Canic subcompact, but got done just in time because it's starting to rain right now. But this is a great way to get out and spend a little time. It doesn't have to be a high volume practice, but it is important from time to time to get out and just learn to do certain things that could come up in scenarios where you might have to use your firearm in a defensive situation, where you might have to get behind cover, you might have to drop down, you might have to be concealed, you might have to shoot around something. Anything could happen, and there are all kinds of ways to test scenarios. You can do this with a rifle, a shotgun, a pistol. People who have their own ranges or private property to shoot on, a lot of times will pull their cars out and learn to shoot coming up out of their car door and having to defend themselves from a vehicle situation. So all kinds of ways to do it, but one of the most basic things you can do is make yourself something to shoot around. Prop up a few things, tables, chairs, whatever you can get. Put them out on the range, move around them a little bit, set your targets up, and learn to shoot around those things. Get used to dropping down. I'm at an age where dropping down on my knees is not a real attractive prospect at this point, but you know what? If I have to do it, I want to be ready for it. So I hope that's you. I hope this helped you some. Learn to shoot around some objects by getting out and just doing it. I'm Mark Rogers, and I'll see you very soon in another Christian Gun Owner video.